Alright, baby, so today we're going to do a really quick short lesson on functions, domain, and range. Tomorrow we're going to be studying domain and range, and I really need you to know what a function is in order for us to do this. So let's go ahead and define what a function is. A function is a set of ordered pairs and for those of you that cannot remember what an ordered pair is an x and a y that you can plot on a coordinate plane. So these are ordered pairs in which no two ordered pairs have the same first coordinate and different second coordinates. All right, basically what does this mean? This means that the first coordinate, which would be your x, cannot repeat, okay? So x's cannot repeat. That's basically what it means. All right. So the domain of a relation is the set of all the coordinate pairs, the set of all first coordinates of the ordered pair. So the domain is nothing but the first coordinate in an ordered pair. So that's the same thing as your x. And then the range, guess what, is the second coordinate in an ordered pair. So this will be your y. Now this is how I can remember, and I'm going to put it over here. I know that when I'm plotting, the x comes before the y. And I know this because in the alphabet, the x comes before the y. And just like the x and the y, the domain and the range, the domain also, D comes before R, which means the domain is your first element and your range is your second element. So x and domain are going to be the same, and your second coordinate, which is your y, and your range are going to be exactly the same. All right? So basically what we're doing in the next worksheet is trying to figure out which of those relations are functions or not. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So determine functions, and we're going to do practice A. Determine if the following are functions. So I got to figure out if these are functions. Right function or not function on this element, on this line. Okay, so if the x's in a function, x's cannot repeat, or elements of the domain cannot repeat. All right. So what is it that I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to go to my x's. Are any of those, do any of those repeat? 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are no repeats, so this is a function. What about the next one? Are there any repeats on the x's? 0, 8, -2, and 6. So all I'm looking for are these numbers right here. and there are no repeats. So this would be another function. Now, on this one, I'm looking for the x's. The element of the domain 4 repeats, which means this is not a function. All right? So let's go ahead and do the next one. Let's highlight my x's, which are my first coordinate, or the elements of the domain. Do I have any repeats? And yes, I do. 6 and 6. So this is not a function. Let's highlight the elements of my domain, which are my x's, first coordinate. Do I have any repeats? No, I do not. 5, 3, -2, and 0, which means this is a function. All right, for the next one, we got to do the vertical line test. Now, the vertical line test, what it does is that you either take a pencil or you take a piece of paper, and I'm just going to fold this in the index card that I have in my hands, and does that line touch more than one point at a time? And no, it does not. Which means the elements of the domain do not repeat. So this is a function. All right. On the other hand, when I do this one, and I'm going to draw a line. This is another thing that you can do. You can draw lines along those dots. And in here, it touches here and here, because this would be the function. So this is not a function because it touched that relation twice. This point would be -1 and -2. And that point would be -1 and +2. Elements of the domain repeat. So that's -1 and -1. So that's not a function. All right. This right here would be a mapping. This is really easy to do, but it's a little confusing if you're not used to them. These are the elements of my domain, and these are the elements of my range. So this is my domain, and this is my range. So the -2 is paired up with the 1. The 1 is paired up with the 2. The 5 is paired up with the -4. And the -3 is paired up with the -2. Now take a look at, it's mirrored. Take a look at your elements of the domain. Are there any repeats? And that's a no, which means this is a function, because remember, x's cannot repeat. Now look at this one. That's my x and that's my y. That's my domain, and this is my range. 5 with 4, 5 with 1, -3 with -4, and -3 with -2. Now, just by looking at it, I can tell that 5 is paired up with 4, but it's also paired up with 1, which means this is not a function. All right, it's pretty easy to do. You just got to remember that the elements of the domain cannot repeat when y is a function of x. All right. Now on this one, obviously this repeats. It touches all those x's when I do the vertical line test. So this is not a function. Now when I do my vertical line test, just draw a couple of lines. None of those lines touch more than once. So this is a function. So again, these ones are the easiest ones. Go for the elements of the domain, and all of them repeat. Uh-oh, I skipped. So this would be not function. Go for the elements of the domain. There's nothing that repeats. So this is a function. Elements of the domain, nothing repeats. So this is a function. Okay, let's go back to the ones that I missed. Let me highlight my elements of the domain. There's nothing but 2's in there. So this is most definitely not a function. Highlight the elements of the domain again. 0, 3, negative 5, and 4. That does not repeat. So this is a function. Alright, let's do the vertical line test. That one's okay. But when I come over here, it touches that relation in 3 different spots. So this is not a function. Right? Draw lines. Does it touch more than one? That will be a no, so this is a function. And the last two, let's highlight the elements of the domain. Any repeats? 5, 4, 3, and 2. There are no repeats, so this is a function. And then let's highlight the elements of the domain. 0, 0, 0, 0. There's nothing but zeros. So this is definitely not a function. So like I said, this is pretty easy to do. All you gotta know is that the elements of the domain cannot repeat. Okay, hopefully this worked. Tomorrow we're gonna do a little bit more domain and range in different ways with intervals. So I hope you guys have a great night. See you tomorrow, babies.